But how many of you know that this is an hour for the true believers?
That's right. That's right.
This is the hour for the true worshipers. And if you don't have a worship, you will not have a victory. If you don't have a worship, you don't have a relationship. And if somebody got the pump in front of you, I'm sorry to inform you that you're on a time bomb waiting to explode. Because we're living in perilous times. We're living in times where don't nobody care. Everybody have become selfish. Everybody have become self-righteous. And don't nobody want to drag you if you don't want to go. Tell somebody, wait a minute. It's time to wake up. Because Zion is calling us to a higher place than God.
Come on, glory to God.
As I sat down, I said, God, I've been waiting all week. And when I got here, the Lord led me over to the book of John, the 4th chapter. And it began to talk about a Samaritan woman that was at the well. And while she was, I'm not in your neighborhood today, am I? Come on, somebody. See, God is speaking the same thing. But then I began to read the story again. How that Jesus was at the right place, at the right time, waiting on the right person. A person that had issues, that was waiting on the right person to come to fill her cup so that she could no longer be empty. Many people that are empty right now are people with holes in their lives, but don't know how to patch the holes that are in their lives because of the spiritual warfare that they've been in. We have to stop and realize that spiritual warfare causes you to mature. Spiritual warfare causes you to grow up and have a relationship with God. It's not for you to run or for you to be afraid. It's for you to embrace it and know where God is carrying you to the next dimension. But I forgot some of you still want to do levels. But it's time out for levels. It's time for the dimensions. For you to walk in, because there's an army of people that God is gathering in this hour, and they are called the worshipers. But here, the woman was, Jesus was waiting on her. Yes. And he asked her for a drink. But he knew that it would get her attention. Because here he was a Jew and she was a Samaritan woman. And during that time, Samaritan women did not talk to the Jewish men. Because as we all know, women are, some of them are so flirtatious until you don't want them to talk to your husband. Because you don't know really what type of relationship you and your husband really have. You don't really know what you and your husband really have until you've been tested.
Come on, make it plain.
I don't want nothing that don't nobody else want. But I'm in the right house. I don't want nothing that nobody else don't want. I've been married 25 years. But to God be the glory, my marriage is still standing. I've been tried. Been lied on, been talked about, been misunderstood. But yet I knew that this was the man that God put in my life. When you know that this is the man or the woman that God has put in your life, the enemy will come and try to challenge that. The enemy will come and try to distract you. You got to understand the techniques of the enemy. He's not your friend. He want to know where you are alive. He
All right.
She might have been a cheater, but she wasn't a liar. And you know, we always say, if you lie, you cheat. If you cheat, you will steal. But this woman was not a liar.
All right.
But she was a cheater. God asked her, sister, where is your husband? She says, I don't have any husbands. And he said, you speak the truth. You've had 5 men, but none of them are your husband. And she says, no, but I'm here and I need to be filled. I'm at this well and I need something that's in this well. But it wasn't about the natural well, it was about a spiritual well. A well that would never run dry. A well that would never lose its power. And when she drank of this water, she would never have to worry about thirsting again. We always thinking about the natural. Let a person open up their mouth and you'll know where they are. Natural people speak carnality. Spiritual people speak spirituality. They can see victory in the midst of storm, oppression. That as a worshiper sees no problem with what's going on in reality today, because they know the truth of the whole matter is God's got the whole world in his hands. Here this woman was. If you would go to me with the 4th chapter, and I'm almost done. That's the 4th chapter. And if you would start at verse 23. So, Evangelist, do you have your Bible? Or the preacher, the pastor have it? Verse 23, read verse 23.
But
The
hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
God is seeking to and fro through the land for the true worshipers that is going to worship him in spirit and in truth. And the only true worshipers are the believers. There is a difference between believers and Christians. Everybody now declared to be a born-again Christian. But you have very few people that declare to be a believer. The reason that they like to use the word Christian is because that's a dressed up word and it sounds good. But the reason that they don't want to use believer is because it holds them to a level of commitment. It holds them to accountability. And it shows you up just where you are. And when you start to declare that you are a believer, the devil comes after you with full force to show you where you stand. But nobody wants to be tested. Everybody wants the glory, but nobody wants the story. Nobody wants to go through anything anymore. Folk just want to be anointed without an appointment. Folk want to be sent, and nobody wants to wait. Nobody wants to go through what it takes to be a prayer warrior. Nobody wants to go through what it takes to be a worshiper. Nobody wants to go through what it takes to be a believer. We come to church and we know that we are empty on the inside. We see the spiritual well that sits here, which is called the altar. We see that Jesus stands with his arms open wide, saying there is room at the cross. But yet we make excuses. When he asks you if you're really ready, you say, wait a minute, God, I still got some things that I have to deal with. Wait a minute, God, I still have some things that I don't want to give up. Wait a minute, God, the folk have hurt me and I still try deal with it. And God is saying, but if you drink of this water, you don't have to worry about being hurt. If you drink of this water, you don't have to worry about being rejected. If you drink of this water, you don't have to worry about being counted out. If you drink of this water, you don't never have to worry about thirsting again. Why? Because I'm the answer. But the true worshipers that God seeks are those that says, I'm a warrior.
Come on now.
I'm designed for this. I was created for this. And I do it with pride. I do it with dignity. I do it with strength. I do it with a spirit of excellence, because I know greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I don't have to worry. I don't have to fret. If God be for me, who can be against me? I am what God says I am. But the reason that saints don't talk like that no more is because they're too busy saying, I'm a diabetic. They're too busy saying, I got high blood pressure. The saints are too busy saying, I got more problems than what the law allows. The saints are too busy being distracted by positions. The saints are too busy being distracted by their own carnality. Got the nerve to want power, but don't want to pray. Got the nerve to want power and don't want to worship. Got the nerve to want power and can't stand nothing. Somebody say something to you, you offended.
That's it.
Somebody try to correct you, you're not going back. And then you wonder why the church is deformed. Why people come to church and can't feel no power. Because everybody in the church is wounded. Everybody in the church is hurt. Everybody in the church know the other person's business. Know that you've been tipping and dipping and slipping. Know that you don't have nothing.
That's it.
Know that you're preaching one thing and living something else. No, we let anything come in the church and pushed it down folks' throat and think that folk is supposed to accept it. And you wonder why the church is in the shape it's in. You wonder why when folk preach, folk can't get up because they so baffled and so confused because they seen some of everything going on, but nobody corrected. And then we try to worship God in a formality, going with all of the sweat, all of the carnal things that we want folk to see. And God is saying, but I'm not studying that worship. I need a worship beyond that worship. I need a real worship. I need something from the purity of your spirit, because no good thing is dwelling in your flesh. You remember when God told the children of Israel, stop rendering your garments and start to render your hearts.